Hall of Famer Jim Ross.
Hello everybody, good to see you. Can't see you, but that's probably good. You can see me, that's probably not so good. I have had 3 bouts of Bell's palsy, so I'm not smiling, but it doesn't mean that I'm not happy. Thanks for Grey Goose. Working on this, being in the business for 38 years, I've done a lot of things that have been really fun and some not so fun, but this is one of the most enjoyable experiences that I've had in 38 years. And I haven't been paid to say that, and I'm not bullshitting anybody. I believe that to be true in my heart, that we've had so much fun putting this game together, this great crew. The innovations are astonishing of how real these games look. And I know that when Jerry Lawler and I got together to recreate our Attitude Era commentary, it was really wonderful for me, sitting on the sidelines and enjoying the action now and reinventing that time frame. We'll talk more about that. Do I have my list yet?
There you go.
I always work off a script in wrestling. Okay. And the winner of the SummerSlam main event. Oh. We have quite the panel. We're going to have a little panel discussion, and I have no idea how it's going to go. And whoever took my other front sheet needs to bring it back to me. It's got all my ad-libs and my spontaneous jokes on it. Oh, no, that could be really funny. Oh, I said that one. That was not very funny. All right, we'll get into that. We're going to have a unique panel. They have no idea what I'm going to ask them. And of course, with Stone Cold here and CM Punk and Mike Tyson, none of my questions will be too volatile. Or will they? I'd like to introduce our panelists, starting off with a fascinating talent, a great act. They're energizing and they're fun to be around. They're just beginning their journey in WWE. They're making their debut in WWE 13. I think they're fun, and I'm an old guy. And I'd like to introduce Brodus Clay, Naomi, and Cameron. Well, I'm glad I called them because I was going to wear that same exact outfit that Naomi and Cameron have. That close.
Oh, no.
Our next panelist has a huge opportunity tomorrow to really put his career in a direction that people will never forget, because he's going to wrestle Chris Jericho at SummerSlam. And amazing athlete. Please welcome the Money in the Bank ladder match winner, Dolph Ziggler. Our next panelist is the new Raw General Manager. And she has seat 1A on the Crazy Train. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome AJ. Chuck Taylor All-Stars never looked so good. Yeah. That's a Converse reference. If any Converse people are here, I'll take number 11. The World Heavyweight Champion. The first Irish-born World Heavyweight Champion. boy, as tough as they come, and he's in this video game, all over it, and vivid and aggressive. And he's been working on his tan. Please welcome Seamus.
No, I'll sit over here. How about that?
What's this like about Naomi? Ladies and gentlemen, this man defines the Attitude Era. He is the greatest superstar in the history of our business. He revolutionized WWE, and there's only one, they broke the mold. Please welcome Stone Cold Steve. Steve is DVR in Redneck Island for you folks that are keeping score.
I straight to show CMT, Redneck Alley. Let's get out of here.
Got that plug in, Steve.
Oh, hell yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next panelist is one of the most amazing athletes to ever step inside a squared circle. As a young broadcaster, I'd always dreamed of what it would be like to call one of his matches, one of his fights. And he is going to be performing, competing, fighting, wrestling in WWE 13. He made an amazing impact for WWE. His contributions cannot be ignored because he brought amazing mainstream publicity to our brand in the late 90s. It's my pleasure to welcome Iron Mike Tyson. Our final panelist is the #1 man in WWE because he is the WWE champion. He'll be defending that championship tomorrow against two men at SummerSlam. Please welcome CM Punk. By the way, if any of you had Uganda today, -20 in the Little League World Series poll, you win. I'm rich. All right, here we go. The most authentic video game that we've ever done. It's seamless. The action is amazing, and only one person, however, could be on the primary cover, and that is the WWE champion. So my first question is to CM Punk. What's it mean to you as a professional to be on the cover of what is expected to be the most widely sold video game in our history?
When I was a little kid, I think I had goals in life, and I didn't know how I was going to achieve those. And one of them was to be in a video game. You know, the other one was to have an action figure. I've done both those things, you know, many times over. So to me, to be on the cover of the video game just proves, you know, that I'm the man right now. I'm not the best in the world, because if you want to sell your video game, you put the #1 guy in the industry on it. And as far as I know, the pre-sales are doing very, very well. The championship is not going anywhere on Sunday. So come October, when you buy THQ's WWE 13, you will be purchasing it with the WWE champion on the cover. And to me, it's everything. It means I'm the guy. And, you know, I work very hard to be that guy. So it means hard work's paying off.
Seamus, you're a hard worker. That's how you got here. And as a lad from Ireland, what are you most looking forward to in WWE 13, other than yourself and your lovely pasty skin.
It's the second time now you've mentioned how pasty and white I am.
You are a handsome young man, I must say.
I'm not ill, by the way.
I mean that in a good way.
Thank you. Obviously being a fan of WWE since I was like 4 or 5 years old. I watched WWE throughout the years. I've followed numerous superstars from, $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, Mr. Perfect, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, of course Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock. And to me, the Attitude Era was definitely a great time for the WWE. As I said, it was a great change, and I'm really digging the storyline, the Attitude Era storyline, where you get to obviously relive moments from that great period, especially superstars, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Screwjob, of course emerging Stone Cold, and the DX era as well, The Rock. So I'm really excited about those storylines. I think it's new. It's even though it's old, it's new again, and to mix it up with all the current superstars, it's going to be very exciting.
The storyline aspect of this video game is multi-layered. You can really select your own storyline, and there are many from the Attitude Era. And AJ, you are now the Raw general manager. You have competed in the ring, but you were certainly a young lady when the Attitude Era was in full force. Now that you've been announced as a player on this roster, and that was announced, I think, today. What does that mean to you, being a lifelong fan, that you finally made it to this video game?
Oh my gosh, I literally cried today. Yeah, I'm a DLC, but it's amazing. Like I made myself in like the call mode, it was called at the time, and like all the SmackDown versions are off. So I'm just kind of a big kid. You know, it's kind of surreal that I'll actually be in it. I don't know, like Punk was saying, it's kind of a dream. You know, it's one of the things that you dream of. It's like a checklist, an action figure in a video game, and this is actually my first time of that happening, and everything's kind of happened in 1 year, and it's been mind-blowing.
Thank you. I remember my first time. In a video game.
Flintstones was live.
After I called it Abraham Lincoln Douglas match back in Illinois in 1861. I think Abe slipped over. They had a return plan, but the election and John Wilkes Booth interfered. Iron Mike Tyson. Iron Mike, ladies and gentlemen, for any consumer who pre-orders WWE 13, you'll be able to play the baddest man on the planet in this video game for the very first time in a WWE ring. And Mike, I know that you're obviously known for many things, nothing more, in my view, than your fighting and your spirit and your warrior mentality with your fists. So what can we expect from Iron Mike Tyson in this video game?
Many wonderful things, man. Well, I don't know, really, when you think about it, being a part of the WWE, especially at a time when I was really an Attitude Era, I just did Vanderveer, and I joined the program, and Mr. Stone Cold right here, and we broke a lot of records back there. We did a really good job, and I'm not going to thank, really. What I'm really trying to convey is gratitude. It's really awesome being a part of this, and I'm just looking forward to doing more stuff with the WWE. And this is really, like I say, I don't know, the breaking point. Really, a lot of wonderful things, and I just appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Mike brought a lot of attitude to his fight.
Can I say something really quick?
Certainly.
I think it's super cool that Mike Tyson is in this video game, because when I was a kid, I played Mike Tyson's Punch-Out constantly. This is the first guy I actually made a video game for, so for him to be in WWE 13, I think that's like full circle.
That shows I'm pretty old, right?
No, you're not old at all. I'm just the youngest guy that's sitting in the front row right now, that's all. Okay, what's your question?
Well, my next question is, let's go to the Attitude Era and talk about that. Mike brought it up. One of the great elements of WWE 13 is the Attitude Era. There are 8 superstars from the Attitude Era of prominence. The storylines run deep. You can have matches in arenas around the world in all sorts of stipulations. and the audio, the crowd, the feeling, the passion is there. The man that really started that Attitude Era was Stone Cold Steve Austin, and unquestionably, he's the man that's most associated with this Attitude Era. Steve, what do you have? I know it's a vague question, but because there's so many. Is there one significant moment that you can recall on Monday Night Raw in the Attitude Era that you thought that, man, this philosophy is going to work? What we're doing right now is working. Is there one moment? Can you define it in one moment?
Before I talk about that moment, Mike Tyson just referred to me as Stone Cold. Me and Mike did business many years ago, and he called me Cold Stone every single time. Boy, it used to piss me off. Iron Mike just called me Stone Cold. Thank you, Mike. He finally got it right. But you know, really, when you're out there dealing with Mike Tyson and he calls you Cold Stone, what are you going to do? Last time I checked, the business was at work. Anyway, man, there were so many good times out there during the Attitude Era, and I look forward to going to work every single Monday, and it seems like we were on the road 24/7, 365 anyway, and it was just a blast. And probably when things really started lighting up, when we really started ringing that cash register, Jim, was the first time I hit Vince with that stunner. And I think that's when people said, you know, okay, it's on, you don't know what's going to happen, it's high charged. The Monday Night Wars were soon to follow, and it was just a good day at the office every single time we went out. I knew we were giving the crowds what they wanted by the feedback, and it was a great situation to be in. And it's great that this game comes back around. It's great for me to be a part of it, and goes to show how powerful and how memorable the Attitude Era was. And when we refer to the Attitude Era, it was during my peak years, but I've always considered the business of pro wrestling or sports entertainment, whatever you want to call it, to be very attitudinal in general. But maybe it hit its spike or its peak point during the times when myself and many the other 7 current superstars in the Attitude Era game were around.
The next question regarding the Attitude Era, we'll kind of go around the horn here a little bit about memories. Seamus, someone give Seamus a mic, please. Seamus, you were young. You had not got into the business during the Attitude Era, right? Am I correct in saying that?
That's correct, yeah.
But you watched.
I watched.
So do you remember? Or was there a moment that you carry with you that you watched on Raw that you jaw dropping or just stuck with you for whatever reason? There were a lot of them.
Well, the one thing I really noticed was watching Raw itself was like what really caught my attention when Bret Hart actually, after he felt he was being screwed over and over again, especially at the time when Shawn Michaels was being involved and Sid and everyone, Undertaker. It started becoming predictable. Obviously, this is someone I've watched growing up my whole life, and then obviously his attitude, his gears were changing. And the other thing as well was back home in Ireland, it just seemed that like watching my whole life, it seemed to be become really cool. All of a sudden, everybody's talking about it. You're walking down the street and there's WWE shirts being worn, Stone Cold, The Rock, Undertaker, Triple H, DX shirts. And I knew from that moment in time that it really was just exploding. Even a small country like Ireland. But there's been many great moments on Raw, we could be here all night talking about them. Obviously, Stone Cold pushing the boundaries and knocking lumps out of Vince McMahon was always very fun for me to watch. But as I said, it really did start to turn the screw. I'm saying when Shawn and Bret were starting to push the boundaries with DX as well. Shawn and DX with Bret Hart.
Reality television, it was storylines, again, that you can use in this video game based in reality and real situations that you can be as creative as you choose. We're going to go down to Dolph here momentarily, so you guys can head that mic that way. It'd be good. The thing about this video game is that, and one of the great things about WWE in that Attitude Era was the fact that we had so much crowd involvement. You can look at some of those old tapes and see how many signs were in the audience and the creativity that fans used. You think about it. Now we complain if the drive-thru is a little bit busy. These guys would make signs, use their artistic ability, and bring them from home, bring them all the way to the arena, get them into the arena, and hopefully got on television. If you look at this video game and the footage of this, they have done an amazing job of recreating this audience, where the audience members have facial expressions. They're not zombies, and they have some creative signs. It's really, really real. So Dolph, now you're another young buck that was just in his formative years, back when the Attitude Era was rocking and rolling. Do you have a moment or a individual that you, particularly when they came on, you had to watch, or you're interested in the storyline in particular?
For me, not just because he's here, Stone Cold Steve Austin was my favorite. I mean, just hearing the glass break and the music every single night, somehow, that was my favorite part of the night, no matter what he was doing. And even the fireworks starting the show, and I'd have to be home at 8:59 to watch it before it started, and my dad would just go, "Why don't you just tape it and watch the fireworks later?" It's different ones every week, and that always stood out to me. I was in my basement with the volume on high, everyone left me alone for 2 hours, and just, man, Tyson and Austin going face to face, and Vince seeming like he lost control. Just like the WWE, they prove every week you don't know what's going to happen. I literally had no idea what was going to happen, and that was such a special moment for me. And the fact that we can start recreating things like that in WWE 13 is really hits home, because you can, the heroes you dreamed watching up, and as you're growing up, you actually get to either create yourself as you're growing up, getting that first game, and I created myself. I took Billy Gunn's trunks and Stone Cold's knee braces, and I made myself, this cool guy, and now you're in the game, and the crowd's in the game, and it gets more real every time, and even just that cover we saw of Punk, it's unreal. It looks real to me, and that's what's cool about wrestling and sports entertainment.
Brodus is our next victim on the mic. You thought that was unpredictable as a fan. You could have, should have been sitting in ringside with me and Lawler, where they come on you're segment 2, and you're live, and somebody would come in your ear that sounded like they'd been gargling Drano and say, "We're changing segment 3, just go with it." And we went with it. It wasn't, like Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth, somebody bringing them herbal tea and a little piece of fruit and powdering them. You're sweating your ass off at ringside, and segment 3's changing, just go with it. So you know what we did? We went with it, and everything you heard, nothing was rehearsed, and nothing was. It was just what came out of our heart and what we saw on the monitor and what the men and women did in the ring. So, Brodus, I know you're a fan.
Can I answer that in 2 parts?
Your question is, what's your memory?
Actually, I have a couple memories, but probably something outside the box was the guy at Radio Shack who helped me figure out a way to hook up a splitter on 2 TVs so I could watch both shows at the same time. Changing the channel, I missed too much. And one of the cool things I liked was all the flip-flopping. When Lex Luger showed up, we were like, "Oh, well, I can't believe he did that." And we were just, you know what I mean? And then Raymond Long showed up, we're like, "Man, he's still, I know his first name." And then we was just fired up, right? Probably the biggest moment, it was good when he shoved it, remember that? That was good. Anyway, probably the biggest moment, the part that just, wow, was when WCW got bought. Because I remember sitting there, I was going, "That's Shane O'Mac. What's he doing in WCW? He bought it, son! Oh man, it's crazy. Everyone's gonna come together. It's gonna be this great Olympic of wrestling." It didn't quite go that way, but that was my moment. You should have seen it. I had 2 TVs stacked up. Mama going for work. Like, "Did you put TV on top of TV again?" No. If we did, and we lived to death. Oh, it was crazy, man. It was nuts. I love the wars. Love the wars.
Don't lie to your mama. Call your mama.
Sometimes you gotta.
I know sometimes. You gotta do. CM Punk, I know you've been a fan all your life. You had just kind of gotten your foot in the door in the wrestling business when this Attitude Era was rocking and rolling.
Yep.
What were moments that you brought with you?
Well, I was already selling out VFW halls across the country. Places like Muncie, Indiana, Norman, Oklahoma,
Yeah.
the bustling metropolises of the United States of America. So as the years went on, I religiously started watching less and less and less. But obviously the big moments that I remember Montreal. I remember Mick Foley being thrown off the top of the Hell in a Cell for the sheer insanity of that. And, you know, I remember all the stuff that Cold Stone would do to Vince McMahon. You know, he wrecked his Corvette, made him, you know, pee his pants in, you know, in the middle of the ring, you know, drove a beer truck up, sprayed him with beer, all that fun stuff, you know. The Attitude Era had this, this chaos about it, and, you know, leading the charge was Steve, you know, and you didn't know what was going to happen, and that made it fun to watch.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mike? Let me guess, you